Hi guys, I just wanted to do this video. I was on a walk this morning and it's been a long time since I've walked up Win Hill. It's quite a steep climb, fantastic views when you get to the top, so really rewarding. But it was interesting when I was on the walk because my legs felt like absolute lead today, and there were points on the walk where I could have physically vomited. It took that much out of me to climb the really steep route. And it was interesting because what was coming through me was, there were moments when I looked from the bottom of the walk, when you can see the ascent, you can see we can't actually see the top of the hill, but you can see where you have to go. And I could have been filled with overwhelm, and certainly on other walks at other times I have felt that overwhelm when you're looking at the goal that you're trying to reach, and it just seems so far, it just seems such a long way and so hard. And then all the voices start kicking in your head, the I can't do this, it's too hard, I'm not strong enough, it's all of those little voices that kick in. But what was interesting today was that didn't happen. And although my legs felt like lead and I could feel the voices as if they were in the background, just dying to kind of kick in and go, I can't do this. What was really interesting was, what powerfully came through me was, stay present, stay in the step you're in, literally. And I looked down and I could see the sunlight sparkling off the sand, it's sandstone, and I could hear my feet crunching along one step at a time, and it was literally one step and then the next step and then the next that was going through. I could feel the sun on my skin and I felt nourished and nurtured by the sun. And each time that I felt the energy of that overwhelm, that oh my god, this is too much to do, come in, I just came straight back into that moment, straight back into where I was at that point on this walk, and became fully present in that aspect of the walk. It didn't matter to me how far I had to go to reach the top. That wasn't important. It was about being fully aware of where I was and what was happening around me at that point where I was. So and it doesn't matter whether you're trying to do something physical like climbing a steep hill, or whether you're on your spiritual journey, or whether you've got a new project in mind and you're at the beginning and everything feels way too much and just like, oh my god, I've got all these different steps and things that I have to do before I can accomplish this. Make sure that you are fully present in the step that you're in, and breathe. Just take a moment to breathe and appreciate where you are, and just, how are you feeling? What can you see? What can you sense? What can you smell? What can you taste? And it got to the point where, I was aware of my heartbeat. I was aware of the blood pumping around my veins. And then I became aware of the sunlight filling me, nourishing me with light. And I felt like I was expanding in that moment. And then that moment passed and I could see the beauty of where I was. And I stopped and I looked over the landscape and I looked over the vista at how far I had actually come. Because as I had my head down, I was only aware of that part of the journey. I was only aware of that moment. And I was allowing myself to be fully present in that moment. But then I stopped, and then I looked across the landscape and I actually looked at how far I'd actually come. And again, I looked up at the hill and it did seem a long way off. But it didn't matter. It didn't matter because, again, I knew that I was beautifully exactly where I was meant to be in that moment. And that, if those thoughts came up, I can't do this, they were immediately counteracted with not only I can, but I am. I am doing this. And it doesn't matter how long it takes because everything is in perfect timing. And it doesn't matter what the thoughts that go through your mind are. If you find yourself in that overwhelmed situation, just really focus on where you're at. Really focus on what it is that you're currently doing in this moment, in this instant, and allow yourself to be fully present in it. You are a creator being, and as such we create our reality. And how we perceive the reality that we've created in each and every moment depends on how we choose to look at something. Now, I in that moment could have looked at that hill and chosen to think, oh my God, I can't do this. But in that moment, I chose to think, I am doing this. And in this section, I'm going to fully enjoy it. And then I'm going to look up and see how far I've come. I'm going to sit down, I'm going to take a rest, I'm going to have a breather. I'm going to allow myself to be nourished in that moment. And then I'm going to make a choice. Do I continue on this journey right now? Or do I feel like I need to do something else? Have a drink, have a snack, whatever it is. Obviously it's different depending on the journey that you're taking in that moment. And again, remembering everything's perfect and not judging yourself. There have been times where I've literally been in tears. I've been overwhelmed with anxiety and just all of the voices have just taken over. And I've not enjoyed the walk at all, even when I've reached the top of a hill, because of how I've perceived that moment. But today was different. Today I thoroughly enjoyed it. And actually the voices didn't even get a chance to kick in because the guidance, my inner guidance, my divine aspect was with me so strongly. And I absolutely loved every moment of it. Even in those moments where I just became fully present and I was immersed in how beautiful the light was sparkling off this sandstone. It looked like I was walking on a bed of diamonds. It was amazing. And in doing that and in being fully immersed in that moment, the next time I looked up, I was in a completely different place. Not only physically, I was so much further up the hill than I had anticipated, but also emotionally, mentally, spiritually. So that's what I wanted to share with you today. That was what was definitely coming through. It doesn't matter what journey that you're on, whether it be emotional, mental, spiritual, physical. It doesn't matter how far you are along that path. Be fully present. Be fully present in that moment, because that's really what it's about. And whether it is your spiritual journey, if you try and look ahead and see where you're heading to, you're missing the point. You're missing the point of where we are right here, right now. This is what we're meant to be doing. This moment is the only moment existing. This is the only one that's important. Our journey that our soul intends for us to take, our life purpose, our life mission, will actually transpire and be manifested so much quicker and with so much more ease if we actually appreciate the present, what we're doing right now and what our internal guidance is calling for us to do. So even if your guidance is calling you to rest, to nurture, to love yourself, to give to yourself, to just be, and your head is going, oh, but I've got 1,000,001 things to do, because your soul has kind of, and I've been there, my soul completely guided me to do this amazing thing that I'm putting together that's going to be going live in February. And there are 1,000,001 things that I need to do for that. And yet there have been times where I had no energy, no motivation to do anything, and my body, my soul was saying, rest, do nothing, recharge. In this moment you are recharging. If I had fought against that, I know the energy that went into whatever it was that I was trying to do would have been nothing like the energy that I'm capable of, and also that the task deserves. And so I rested. I allowed myself to be, and I didn't judge it. I didn't feel guilty for it. And then the next moment, when I had the energy and I had the inspiration to take action, everything was so smooth. Everything flowed with such ease and grace, and I enjoyed doing, because that was the energy that I was in. So be fully present in the moment and allow yourself to be exactly where your soul, your body, your spirit, whatever you want to call it, wherever your inspiration is guiding you in that moment. And be your authentic self in that moment. Be true to yourself, regardless of what your monkey mind is saying, regardless of what society says we should be doing in this moment. Just allow yourself to follow your path, your flow, your truth. And you will get where you are and where your soul is intending for you to be, with such ease and grace in doing that, and allowing that to be your journey, and appreciating fully your journey, rather than focusing so much on what we have as our target goal, and that being the most important thing, because it really isn't. That is one thing that I have definitely learned over this last year, 2018. I was so focused on the end result. I was so wanting to run before I could walk, and I was comparing myself to others. I was comparing myself to what I felt I should be, where I should be. And actually I missed the point in so many instances. And my guides was constantly telling me, it's not the end result, it's not the destination that matters, it's the journey. So that is my gift for you today. That is what came through me. And I apologise that I've waited till this afternoon to do it, but again I followed my flow and my inspiration. So much love to you. I hope you're thoroughly enjoying your first day of 2019. This is going to be another interesting year, and it is going to transpire beautifully, no matter whether it feels challenging or graceful, beautiful or painful. Know that everything we have created in our reality for our greatest and highest good, for our ability to grow. Because if we find challenging moments in our life, we want to be looking at them and saying, well, that's interesting. Okay, what's coming up for me to release? Because that's, if we're being triggered by something, it's because we're ready to let go. We're ready to let go of that energy, that old program, that condition, whatever it is. And it's how you respond in those moments that matter, that can make the difference between whether you experience more and more of those situations throughout the year, or whether you release that energy and it no longer has to appear in your field. And you can move on to the next period of ease and grace, or you can move on to the next aspect that wants to be cleared. We are striving and being called forward to raise our vibration, to release that which has held us back, and really allow ourselves to fill with more and more of our light, more and more of our divine truth and essence. and that takes clearing. But the clearing doesn't have to be hard work. It's how we perceive that experience that matters. So yeah, I will leave you with that as well. Have a fantastic rest of your day, and have a fantastic rest of your year. And I'm sure that I will be doing more morning musings as and when the inspiration takes me. So much love to you all. I love you all so much, and I wish you all the most graceful of journeys. All right then. Hi Vanessa, sorry, I've got this weird thing on my screen and it's blocking my text, so I can't really read what you said, but I shall read it afterwards. Take care, so much love. Bye.